The energies today are intense. We got some pretty hefty astrological transits playing out. The divine masculine has this Five of Swords energy where I feel he is confronting all of the consequences of his past choices. He is in a mental battle, questioning, was it worth it to win at all costs? Because I do feel a reckoning here is unfolding behind the divine masculine silence. Divine feminine, we get this justice card for you. And so this is telling me you are balanced. You are ready for that karmic truth to come to light. You are no longer hiding. You are in alignment and your path is non-negotiable. The Sun card, the combined energy. No matter what chaos is going on today in these energies, I have to say clarity, it is inevitable. That illumination is coming to light. This soul contract is being guided home. Are you ready for today's energy message? Stick around, hit that like button, and let's get into it. Hey, good morning. Welcome in. Welcome back, everybody. It is Laura, and let's talk about these energies today for the Twin Flame Collective. We do have the Sun in Taurus today in an opposition to Lilith and Scorpio. We also have the Moon transiting through Aquarius. It's going to trine Jupiter in Gemini, and it is going to square Uranus and Taurus. And so the heart of today's energy really is a battle between the light and the shadow, I feel, especially with that opposition. And so stability versus chaos, that earth and water energy in an opposition. And so this is all about the known and the forbidden. And so with the Sun in Taurus, grounded, stable, sensual, slow-moving energy. Taurus desires that peace, that comfort. Taurus desires something real and tangible. Lilith in Scorpio is rebellious, raw, dark, feminine energy, and there's that refusal to be tamed. And Lilith in Scorpio holds deep, dark secrets, trauma, power, and intensity. And so this opposition is a very triggering energy. I want to say it is pulling that divine masculine energy and that divine feminine energy into some sort of confrontation. And this could trigger a lot of unhealed wounds around power and control dynamics, abandonment wounds, rejection wounds, and where the connection has lacked that emotional vulnerability. And so divine feminine, this really is a potent time for you to reclaim all of these suppressed parts of yourself. And so you're probably going to be feeling deeply emotional, deeply intuitive, and possibly even angry, especially if you've been silenced or misunderstood or made to feel too much in the past or even in past lives. And Lilith energy is coming through saying, feel it all, own it all, and don't shrink yourself anymore. And so I do feel the divine feminine is shedding all of these old patterns of people pleasing. We do need to remember we are in the year of the snake as well, which is all about shedding, I feel, emotional dependencies. And so this really is a call for the divine feminine to fully step into that high priestess energy, to be still, to be sovereign, to be unapologetically aware of your own emotional depth. And for the divine masculine, there's a mirroring energy, I want to say. And so as the feminine goes into these depths, this is triggering a very discomforting intensity of emotions that is coming up for the divine masculine collective, either within themselves or this could be mirrored, like I said, through the divine feminine. And so the Sun in Taurus wants that clarity to come to light, wants that calm energy within this connection. But the Lilith energy is exposing everything that's been denied. And so I do feel the divine masculine, it really felt like he's in a very intense internal conflict in these energies. Does he stay safe in what it is that he knows, or does he face the storm and face what it is that he actually truly feels? And so this really is a call for the divine masculine to confront his own shadow self, especially surrounding intimacy and losing control and surrender, right? And so the divine masculine, I feel, is learning that true strength isn't just about holding it in and holding that ground. It really is about being willing to evolve. I was shown the High Priestess and the Five of Swords, and as I looked up as I was saying that, I did notice 333 on the timer. And so there is a very mystical, intense energy that came through in this combination. High Priestess is mystery, right? She is the keeper of secrets. It holds Piscean energy connected to intuition, all of that sacred knowledge and all of this withheld truth. And the Five of Swords, well, let's face it, the Five of Swords is conflict, right? Fives are conflict. It doesn't matter what suit of the tarot it is, but there's a conflict connected to, I feel, thought patterns, miscommunications, manipulation, and ego battles. And so this is often where nobody really wins, right? And so I just feel together these cards and these energies are suggesting a lot of telepathic tension. That's really what I felt connected to my own journey, was a lot of telepathic tension, especially connected to this emotional and physical distance and separation. And a lot of the twins have to work through the power play dynamics of the masculine and the feminine energies, but beneath it all, there's a lot of unspoken truth there between the counterparts. And so I feel there's a lot of energy being brought forward connected to hidden motives, spiritual testing for sure, and the need to listen rather than be reactive. And so silence usually speaks louder than words when it comes to these connections. And so pay attention to your dreams, the signs, the songs, any intuitive hits, because I do feel we're in this portal, I want to say, of a mirroring moment, right? And so Taurus, Scorpio are opposites. They're the same, but they're opposites. And so there's a mirroring energy when it comes to the polarity and the axis of opposites within astrology. And so ask yourself, are you actually listening to your truth, or are you getting pulled into an old ego game connected to a relationship pattern? And then we'll throw in the moon and Aquarius energy in there. And we've got a lot of fixed energy coming through. We've got it in a trine to Jupiter, which is mutable energy. And we got it in that square to Taurus, which is fixed energy. And so the Aquarius moon is all about emotional detachment, I feel, clarity as well. We want logic when the moon transits through Aquarius. We don't want a big mess on our hands, right? But that's not going to be so easy in the energies, I feel, today and over the coming days. And with that trine to Jupiter, I feel there's going to be a lot of insight flowing into both of the counterparts. It's going to bring forward a lot of mental clarity, big picture realizations, right? Think two air energies, huge realizations. There's going to be a sudden aha moment, I feel, for both of the counterparts. And this really is supporting that twin flame telepathy. So write, automatic write, journal about the downloads, and really jot down the notes connected to this divine communication coming through today. And then that square to Uranus and Taurus, that is all about expect the unexpected. I think mood swings are likely, but there's going to be a breakdown in order for a breakthrough. And so there could be something that comes out of nowhere that shakes up a false foundation or a faulty foundation. And when it comes to the twin flame connection, I just feel this energy today is like a wild card. So something hidden is likely going to be revealed. Communication might suddenly shift. So if you've been bantering back and forth and in a power struggle, there might be a separation. If you have been in separation with zero communication, there could be a sudden shift and communication could come in the 3D. But I feel this energy of like a plot twist, a plot twist that's going to force both of the counterparts to rethink how they approach relationships as a whole. And so I kind of feel today is like a soul checkpoint for the twins. The divine masculine is really going to have to face where he has resisted the truth of this situation with the divine feminine, this emotional truth towards the feminine. And the divine feminine today is all about reclaiming your power through a lot of intense shadow work, okay? But we have to stay grounded, and we have to stay in the energy of discernment, right? We can't be reactive. So we're in a very significant shift of energies today where all is known, I feel, between the counterparts, even if it's not said out loud. And I want to say, don't play games. Game playing is not what we're here to do. We're here to rise above the playing of games within relationships. And so today I want to say is a day of anchoring in a lot of inner knowing, even if things on the surface don't look like they're coming together, or it feels tense, or it feels confusing. Truth is what's being revealed, whether this truth is being revealed through silence, through tension, through a conflict, or synchronicities. All of this energy is actually clearing this karmic knot between you and your counterpart. So have that faith. Let's go a little bit deeper with the cards, and let's see what the cards have to say for today's energy. All right, let's get into this reading. The oracle cards really are powerfully setting the tone for today's divine check-in. So we will start with the divine masculine collective, and we did get a man holding a heart. And so this really is a reflection of a King of Cups energy, where the King of Cups energy meets that emotional vulnerability that is rising. So I don't know if you're dealing with a masculine that is a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. It doesn't have to be, but I do feel this is the divine masculine softening his heart. I do feel he is very much aware of what he feels, but there's still a question of what do I do with all of these emotions? And so there is, I want to say, this deep emotional maturity coming back online. But I do feel that Five of Swords came out for the masculine, and it is mirroring what I channeled. He's been burned before. And so it's really hard for him to know who to trust, even within himself, I think. And so I think he's asking himself, can I risk opening up my heart again? I do think there's fear of opening up his heart again. Divine feminine, the door to spirit. And so this really is that veil thinning, and you know it, right? You know it. And so this definitely is a reflection of the moon energy, the moon trine Jupiter. And so I want to say this is a huge tie into that, huge intuitive expansion, downloads, and synchronicities coming through for the divine feminine today. And so you are in what I want to say a communion energy with the divine, but you're also being asked to release control, ego, and the need for external validation, because you did get the Four of Pentacles in reversed down here in your spread. And so the combined energy between the twins today is the contract card. It's a 6 card, and so there is a lover's quality, and you can see on the card she's blindfolded, and so there is a need to have a little bit of blind faith here. And I do feel this is the soul agreement between the counterparts. No matter what is or isn't happening in the 3D, the twins are bound in this spiritual mission, in this spiritual truth, and this spiritual transformation. And so this card, alongside with the Judgment card that came out in reversed on the bottom of the deck over here, I do feel, especially with the wheel reverse, this is a huge energy of unfinished contracts resurfacing. Past life karmic soul contracts or familial contracts are clearing, and you're going to need to trust in the divine timing, right? Especially when the road gets really rocky. And so I want to say, Spirit wants me to tell you, you signed up for this, and now is the time to remember why, okay? Let's talk about the bottom of the deck, because we did get the strategy card, which is speaking of that journal log. And so journal, write, really trust in the divine synchronicities with the feather on the card, because also on the bottom of the deck, we did get that woman holding a heart, Queen of Cups energies, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, and we got that storm of Bruin. And so Storms come to clear the air, and so there's a storm warning here. There is a need to have this heart-to-heart conversation. There is a true pair that did come out in the oracle cards today on the board, and I do feel this clearing of the air is going to lead to a happy family, but there are a lot of envious people surrounding the twins that do not want this union to come together. But I do feel a Four of Wands energy coming through. So let's break it down. The masculine is the top row, the feminine is the middle row, and the combined energies of the twins is this bottom row. And I channeled that Five of Swords, and it did come out today connected to the Divine Masculine Collective. And so there is a defensive energy here. I don't know if it's due to their past manipulation or they're still struggling with an internal conflict, but I think there's a lot of regret that the masculine is sitting in, connected to how things were handled between you and the masculine. And then we got the Five of Cups in reverse. So the masculine's in a major energy of struggle and change. Fives are struggles, fives are change. And I do think he deeply wants to come out of this grieving state. He's tired of the guilt. He's tired of the silence. He's tired of this emotional weight of how things were handled and what went wrong. And then we get this King of Pentacles or King of Coins in reversed. And so I do think the Divine Masculine is feeling very ungrounded, feeling likely insecure. Maybe he's struggling financially, but I do feel a big questioning of his worth is coming up to be transformed in these energies. And then the last card out, the Ace of Wands, and it did come out upright. And so this is interesting because there is still a spark there, right? There is a deep desire to try again to reignite this connection after the rebirth. And so I kind of feel the Divine Masculine in these energies is really at his breaking point. And he's at his breaking point, I want to say, with his own avoidance of this connection and these emotions. And so something is sparking in him to rise, to choose passion and truth over all of this fear or insecurities coming through. And so it's interesting. I just feel this energy really is saying he's navigating shame and shadow in these energies, okay? And so Divine Feminine, we get the Justice card out for you. First card out for you is the Justice card. And so whenever the Justice card comes out, this is a huge indication of the scales being balanced. And so you are receiving that karmic clarity. You're seeing the truth, even if it hurts, even if it's very painful, and you're letting go of control. You're letting go of control with that Four of Pentacles in reverse. You're learning to loosen your grip on needing to have proof or guarantees. You're really leaning into that trust is really what I want to say, and you're taming that inner beast with the Strength card. So you're taming the beast both within and outside of you. And so really, Divine Feminine, this is not about chasing. This whole journey is about embracing your sovereignty and trusting, right? And releasing the need to control, because the last two cards out for you, they came out together. And so we'll take them as a combined energy. The Six of Pentacles in reversed with the Knight of Wands in reversed. And so there has been an imbalance, right? The masculine probably came in, and as quick as he came in, he departed. He was in that Knight of Wands energy. He was in the player energy, unwilling to boss up. I feel very strong Leo energy as well, but I feel this is the imbalance getting rectified. It's like you're cutting off the in and out energy. You're all done with anybody that lacks integrity. You're all done giving without receiving. And so Divine Feminine, this really is you reclaiming yourself, anchoring in that alignment that's been very loud in the readings lately, and refusing to overextend yourself emotionally, spiritually, or even financially, especially if there is no reciprocity within any connection, whether it's the counterpart or any connection. And so this combined energy is pretty interesting. The first card out is the Empress in reverse, and this is kind of what I feel is what's hidden between you. And so the Empress in reversed is a codependent, shadow feminine energy. This can represent karmic feminine energies attached to you, Divine Feminine, or an external force in the masculine's energy. This could be a distorted mother wound rising for healing. But this really is the block, I want to say still. This is the hidden block, is that karmic feminine energy, codependency, right? The Empress in reverse doesn't know her worth and doesn't know her value. And so that needs to be cleared. And then we go right into this blocked communication with the Eight of Wands in reverse. And this is what is creating that tension and the ego clashing. I do feel there could be a distorted mother energy here, or a karmic feminine energy here, trying to block communication, trying to delay the masculine coming forward in union, trying to create all kinds of energetic congestion. And that's going to need to be cleared before movement can commence within these connections. And then the sun. The sun is all about illumination. And so what I want to say is the truth will be revealed connected to this karmic feminine. The truth will be revealed, and it might not come full circle till Lionsgate with the sunflowers on the card, and it is Leo energy. But I do feel that illumination is here. But once all of this false energy falls away, and then we get the Three of Cups in reverse, this is the end of that third-party interference, right? The false friendships are falling away, the false social dynamics that kept this connection in fragmentation. It's all coming to light. It's all being illuminated in these energies. And so this connection really is undergoing a massive spiritual detox in these energies. All of those false layers, they're crumbling. The soul really is calling both of the twins home, but all of the masks have to be removed, right? So let's talk about the bottom of the deck energy. We did get the Ten of Pentacles upright to the Ace of Pentacles in reversed. And so this is the dream, right? The legacy, the divine union, the soul's vision of that legacy, that divine union. But the Ace of Pentacles is that missed opportunity, right? Unless action is taken, this can be a huge missed opportunity, because we are in that timeline split, that portal leading into that new moon in Taurus, and this is it. And so if the counterpart can't come forward to the feminine after all of this integration, another high vibration soulmate will be presented. And so this is it. This can be a huge missed opportunity unless the masculine takes that action. And it is clearly indicating that the masculine is not answering the call yet with the Judgment reversed. And so he's still in this energy, I want to say, of repeating karmic cycles. And we're going to keep repeating these karmic cycles over and over and over again until they're broken. And so I don't know if it's like not this lifetime or what. There's still an opportunity here to take a leap of faith. But the Fool in reversed is indicating a huge fear of starting over. It's like the slate is being wiped clean. But you have to take the leap of faith, right? And so the twins cannot have forever if they stay at that crossroads, sitting in the past pain and the past betrayal. They can't have that forever until they face the past betrayal. And so, yes, these unions are meant to be, but if somebody keeps repeating the karmic cycle and they don't complete it, then this will not come full circle. So I don't know if one or both of the twins is hesitant to leap, but the energy is pretty loud, right? I just want to say that tower is coming, or it's already here. And that storm warning is like a necessary evil, right? It's a necessary clearing of the karmic debris, because the divine feminine has been holding this emotional torch. She is that mirror of unconditional love. And so we can't be reactive in these energies like I talked about. You have to journal, you have to plan, you have to align your actions to your soul's truth, because after the storm does come the blessing, does come the rainbow, the vision, the end game, I want to say. And so whatever is going on, whatever is falling away, it's never meant to be punishment. It's always meant to be a realignment, because this love is real. This contract is sacred, but the foundation must be built on truth and not illusion. Okay, so let's get a spiritual journey oracle card, and let's close off this reading for the twins today. Let's get a final message from spirit, from source, from the higher self. This can be guidance. This can be a deeper meaning behind all of the energies today. It can be just a reminder of the higher purpose of love. So if you are curious about your twin flame journey and wanting to understand the path a little bit more and the stages and how to navigate the journey like a pro, I do have a powerful 22-page ebook guide. All you got to do is comment twin flame guide down below, and I will send you the link to download the ebook to understand the journey and what's been showing up for you lately. If you're not ready for the twin flame guide, I do have a free guide connected to astrology and understanding your blueprint through astrology. All you got to do is comment free guide down below, and it will hopefully help you decode your birth chart. If you would like to go further with a twin flame reading with me or a full personal reading, there will be a link to my webpage below, because let's face it, this twin flame journey is unpredictable and intense. And so find your tribe. Seek out those friendships and those romantic partnerships that contribute to your growth. So if you're in connections that deplete you or keep you stuck and stagnant, those are karmic catalyst soul contracts, right? And so I do believe there's going to be a catalyst, whether it's a tower or a person here that is going to redirect you on your path. There's some very challenging energies here that are necessary to work through in order to refocus your path. And so this catalyst energy, it is intensifying. There's going to be something here that is going to surface over the coming days. It's going to have to be addressed. So be open to receiving the lesson, because this lesson does have to come full circle before that reconciliation. And so there is a reunion on the horizon between the counterparts. So just be mindful of the negative self-talk. Be mindful of your behaviors and the people around you that are keeping you stuck, keeping you stagnant, and keeping you depleted, because that will be a block to this union. Have a great day, everyone.